Game number 12 here at the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas, the Men's Division I 2019 Division I Men's National Championship. And we welcome you to a later start than we did, weather involved with that. But we bring you number 1 Lindenwood versus number 8 Liberty in a matchup that's going to send the final team to the semifinals. Alongside with me, Samuel C. Fleming. Glad you could be here. And Ryan Jones here to help me out with the action. First, we'll talk a little bit about Liberty. You got to call them last night, got to see him, and things that they would need to accomplish to take down the number 1 seed in the tournament.
A convincing win for the Flames last night, 7-2 over a very tough Arizona team, the WCHL champions. They're going to have to look to some of their top scorers. Quinn Ryan, who played in the World College Hockey Championships with Team USA, their leading scorer for the Flames, back in the lineup, had a goal last night. And then I look at another guy like Brock Thompson, played on that line with Grant Garvin last season, and even though Garvin has left, the production has not gone down. And also Jacob Fricks filling in for Zane Schartz. He's done a great job picking up the offensive load on the back end.
Real quickly for Lindenwood before we get down to the anthem and the lineups.
Yeah, just real quickly, a couple names that jump off the page for Lindenwood. Ryan Finnegan, Zach Mitchell, 40 points in each. Both those forwards looking to have a big night. Cooper Cedot, 24-0 on the year, 25-0 if you count their win over Robert Morris. They're 30-1 for a reason. They are the best team in the nation. I do expect them to get things done tonight.
Andy Soares, we'll send it down to you for the particulars of this matchup.
Good evening, parents and hockey fans and fans watching the live webcast on the ACHA YouTube network. Welcome to the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas for the 2019 American Collegiate Hockey Association Men's Division I National Championship Tournament, hosted by the Frisco Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Dallas Stars, and the Children's Health Stars Center Ice Rinks. This is ACHA Public Address Announcer Andy Stores. Our game number 16 so far features on the visiting bench the number 8 ranked Liberty University Flames. And on the home team bench, the number 1 ranked Lindenwood University Lions. Let's meet the starting lineups for this evening's game. First, for the Liberty Flames, in goal, a senior from Chilliwack, British Columbia, number 30, Joshua Halpenny. On defense, a senior from Waterloo, Ontario, number 4, Matt Cruikshank. On defense, a junior from Drake, Saskatchewan, number 86, Joshua Bergen. At center, a sophomore from Franklin, Tennessee, number 21, Devin Pierce. At left wing, a junior from Linköping, Sweden, number 37, Victor Blomberg. And at right wing, a junior from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 18, Jordan Bochinski. The head coach of the Flames is Kirk Handy. His associate head coach is Jeff Betker. The assistants are Danny Berthume and Jonathan Chung. The equipment manager is Brett Berthume. The team managers are Matt Noakes and Dave Pushkas. Now let's meet the starting lineups for the home team bench. The Lindenwood Lions. In goal, a sophomore from Northville, Michigan, number 30, Cooper Cedot. On defense, a junior from Camarillo, California, number 8, Austin Wilk. On defense, a junior from Helsinki, Finland, number 25, Apo Nurminen. At center, a grad student from Lockport, Illinois, number 11, Michael Lozano. At left wing, a freshman from Tecumseh, Kansas, number 17, Ryan Finnegan. And at right wing, a senior from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, number 4, Jordan Klimovsky. The head coach of the Lions is Rick Zombo. His assistants are Mark Abney and Gary Gardner. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps? And join me, soloist Andy Stores and organist Gary Lichthart, in the singing and playing of the Star Spangled Banner. by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets went there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And the particulars of this matchup, a later start, so we thank you, those of you joining us on the East Coast as well as the West Coast, here on the ACHA Network. Vaja Chavari, Samuel C. Fleming, Ryan Jones on the call with me tonight, and happy Sunday to everyone out there. By road to get here, we'll start off with Lindenwood in the number 1 seed. They ended up beating Robert Morris, Illinois, 2 days ago with a score of 4-1. Kind of a convincing win for Lindenwood as they kind of a warm-up game in a way. Thoroughly dominated that matchup the whole time.
Yeah, and that's just Lindenwood's kind of way of doing things. You know, they didn't necessarily need to be too flashy, but they get a couple goals. Just overall, never really giving Robert Morris a chance. Just led by this top line. What I want to see from Lindenwood is a complete game, right? They have some statistical anomalies up front with guys that are scoring 44, 40, 40 points. You know, when you get up into those numbers, it's a matter of production coming from your third and fourth lines as well.
And Liberty will take the opening face-off as Cruikshank receives it D-to-D. Now guided up ahead for Hamilton, and he'll check this one up deep into the zone. Now to play it deep is Wilk. Wilk into the corner, now finally up ahead and out of the zone goes Finnegan. Getting stepped into, Bruley applying that check was Cruikshank. Up but not out of the zone, as just get this one in deep and gloving it down was Finnegan. Finnegan's shot was returned to him by Cruikshank, and a blocker save, as very early Lindenwood gaining the zone. Finnegan again with a shot, and this one was stopped by the Liberty defense. Now Wilk walks in from the point, as Cruikshank was there to deny the attempt.
Yeah, Finnegan with a couple nice shots there to start it off. He is one of those guys I talked about, one of those 40-point scorers.
Shot wide by Nerman. To play it far side was Gammer. Gammer was doing battle with Nerman as he gets checked, and grabbing the puck back behind his own net is Cruikshank. Cruikshank was harassed by the Lindenwood forecheck. Now near side is down to play that goes Martin. Laid out right in front, and a save, point blank in the goaltender Gammer. Right on the half side, on the hash marks.
And when you look at Liberty in this start, they've been a little bit slow out of the gate. Big save from Josh Hallpenny. But you look at this line right here with Thompson and Quinn Ryan, two guys from this team that you're going to have to depend on to score big goals.
Yeah, my apologies on that. It was Hallpenny as a goaltender. Sam C on the fact checking here.
Yeah, as we stop play here, I mean, a quick start, like you said, Sam, Lindenwood. I mean, I don't expect them to sustain that kind of pressure, but it is good to start with pretty much primarily only attacking just 2 minutes into the game.
Well, in that Lindenwood RMU game, Lindenwood never get let off the forecheck or the back check. They were one of the fastest back-checking teams. They don't make many mistakes. Liberty's going to have to try to force a rare mistake out of the Lions if they want to get an advantage in this game.
And offside go the Lindenwood Lions. Plays halted with 18:05 gone in period number 1. Of course, a couple teams in the area. Stony Brook still sticking around. Of course, I guess we'll get in the particulars of it too. Liberty, they got in to this tournament, or actually got this far in the tournament. They ended up beating Arizona last night by a score of 7-2. And Sam, you're a part of that game, and it was a pretty dominant performance by the Flames.
And it wasn't very expected considering how close the two teams are in the rankings. As we'll get an icing here, but it was supposed to be maybe the matchup of the night there, and Arizona got the first goal of the game a minute 15 in, but then Ryan Cox got the scoring started. 7 different goal scorers for the Flames, and it was after that long 30-minute break that Liberty really took advantage of the game and just had a dominant performance. 4 of 5 on the power play last night for the Flames as well.
We'll get to what awaits the winner and the schedules possibly for tomorrow as this game progresses, but still roughly 58 minutes to play. As back to play this in his own zone is Lauber. Lauber up ahead, and this is Knifton going back to play this is C-Dot. C-Dot the backstop for the Lindenwood Lions. Head for Green, and he chips it up ahead. In the corner we go, far side hash marks. Finally down low to play that, met by defenders Ursulet. Finally chipped up but not out, is now coming back to help out on the back edge. Bochinski. Down low, the Lions go. And just laid it behind where Ursulak will play it below the Liberty net. Far side play, up and over. Play is halted as we went into the netting. We do have most of our matchups set, so if Lindenwood does win this, they are going to take on Minot State, who oust the defending national champions in the Adrian College Bulldogs, and what was a pretty exciting game to be a part of.
Yeah, and it was a really exciting one to call, and not a lot of chances for Adrian. Minot just dominated that game, and at one point trailing 1-0, but still had a deadlock grip on there, and then 3 unanswered goals from 2 of them from Kyle Lipinski to lead the victory for Minot.
Into the corner, played it with Lozano. He went all the way around and finally back behind his own net, going to play this, I believe, is Fricks. Finally angled up and out of the zone as Thompson takes this and chipped up ahead into the far side corner, and going to play this is Nermanin. He circles up and around, and this one skied well high in the Dallas, Texas air, as now where the puck is Pomovsky. He shoots it, and it was a blocker save by Hallpenny.
Yeah, look at this. This defense from Lindenwood right here. They're just, you can take as much time as you want behind the net as long as you're 200 feet away from our goal. We don't really care. And oh my goodness, maybe they should care.
A rolling puck that C-Dot couldn't handle. He went down to play it like a shortstop, and it took a bad hop up and over, and that's how we get started.
Oh my goodness. Cooper C-Dot with maybe just a bad bounce, maybe a little bit of lapse of judgment, but the guy who boasts a .938 save percentage letting that one in. Look at that bounce.
And it actually hits a stick on the breakout pass from Jacob Fricks. I'm not sure if it's Jake Townsend who tips it high in the air, and C-Dot 25-0 on the year. A rare mistake like you're saying, Jonesy, and this is a tough start for Lindenwood.
Yeah, so Lindenwood's probably going to be more aggressive here, but guys, can I just say that I've had the broadcasters curse this weekend quite a bit. No, they're 200 feet away. It won't matter. Well, clearly it does.
Send the puck on net, and that's usually the goal, and it doesn't matter how it gets there. If it finds the back of the net, it's a good shot.
Wow, absolutely huge for Liberty's momentum coming out of the gate.
What a wild one that you tune into on the ACHA network. Townsend, who, if we did own goals, probably would have gotten credit, or I guess cursed with the own goal. To play this is Crago, shot as Lindenwood's going to have to battle from behind in this game. Murphy tried to chip it in, couldn't do it. It'll come all the way back to neutral ice as playing in his own zone is Runyon. Runyon as Crago chips this one deep, or tried to at least. It didn't get there as there was a Flame player in the way. And now blowing a tire as he tried to play the puck was Lauber. Finally up, and C-Dot's going to stay in his crease. This will go for icing.
So what I kind of noticed right out of the gate, right, Lindenwood came out strong, but they kind of came out a little bit passive, right? They looked really calm. They looked effortless in their movements. Right after that goal, it looks like they're not necessarily a bit of panic, but a little bit more sense of urgency from the Lions.
One more look at it. Of course, galvanized rubber puck, 3 inches across, 1 inch tall, and it doesn't get the bounces that you'll ever predict. The Flames went in. I'll just get this one deep now to play this down deep, and fanning on the return attempt was Pierce. Into the corner, finally got it up ahead, where Finnegan was looking for a teammate in Lozano just ahead of him, but the Lions will regroup as Murphy from his own blue line up ahead and toss it into the far side corner, where the Flames will take the puck on the far side hash, not corralling it, finally out as the goaltender Blomberg watched it sail past him. Gammer up ahead, near side off the glass, and icing waved off as a pair of Lions were in the area. And Finnegan in the neutral zone. Taken by Wilk at the red line, and finally up ahead as the Lions had to tag up. And Finnegan, shot, scores! It's tied up!
And there he is, number 17, Ryan Finnegan, the freshman leading scorer, one of the leading scorers for this team, the all-rookie for the conference, that conference being the CSCHL. He gets the goal, third goal of the tournament, and like you were saying, Jonesy, one of those dangerous shooters the Lions have.
Yeah, and just tic-tac-toe passing here from Lindenwood as once we pull up this replay. Just look at the movement, look at the effortlessness, tape-to-tape passes, a little bit of a screen there for Halpenny, and great snipe there by the leading scorer.
Looks like the Liberty coach, that is Kirk Handy, having a discussion with the refs on that far side bench.
Yeah, not sure what they're talking about there. I didn't see anything too crazy. Looks like maybe they're talking to both benches, just giving them a warning about something.
Not a preventative officiating. I mean, I don't ever want to see anyone suspended, especially this late in the season. And semifinals quite literally tomorrow. Less than 24 hours away as Will goes to his own goal line and took an awkward carom off the end boards. It's been an interesting place to play this past 2 days.
And you got to give a lot of credit to Jordan Klimovsky, who made a beautiful feed right to Finnegan up top. That's how Finnegan scored his second goal in that RMU Illinois game, right in the slot. You cannot leave a guy like Ryan Finnegan open, who's got a great shot. And again, they have a lot of talented players on this Lindenwood team that can contribute at any moment under Rick Zombo as the head coach.
Face off one as Cruikshank has it. He sent it in. Didn't get to the net. And now finally here, near side boards as Kalo try to get this out of the zone. Squirts and runs parallel to the blue line in front of the Lions bench. Handled by Cruikshank behind his own net as he plays it up ahead for Hamilton. This doesn't get out of the zone. It's sent deep by the Lions as Cruikshank again will go D to D. Now near side for Roberts. Up in a high touch as Roberts will regain possession of it at his own hash mark.
Yeah, looking like Taco Fallout there with that rejection of the stick.
Taco Fallout.
Hey, the USCF almost beaten Duke today in March Madness. You've been keeping up with that madness as well as this one.
Oh, we've seen some madness around the ACHA today. Starting really, we're looking at Iowa State beating Ohio 3-2, first game of the day, and of course Minot State dethroning the national champions.
And you think about that Iowa State game, Ohio had a lot of the momentum early in that, led that game at one point 2-1, but Tony Uglum leads them back with 3 points, 2 goals and an assist, and a big win for the first ever ACHA national champions back in 1992. And then of course the defending national champions dethroned by Minot State on sort of their revenge tour as they look to come back and try to make up for last year after being the #1 seed and falling out in the semis.
Now down low is playing this is Martin, or looking to play this is Martin, but the Flames regain possession. But now finally just send this one deep as they'll decide to play some dump and chase hockey. A couple of pair of Flames and a pair of Lions into that far side Zamboni door corner. That was Clark who went in there. Clark trying to dig this one out for the Flames. Pair of Clarks down there. Far side corralled. That was a extracurriculars. Clark involved with that. Having a couple of words with, I believe that was Tommy Heinzman.
Yeah, I mean, with a tight game and just one more spot left in the semifinals, right now hasn't been too much of a physical battle, but I would not be surprised to see that increase as this game moves along.
Yeah, and with these games especially that get closer on, the first couple days you see some feeling out of the teams, and a little bit of the intensity comes later in the game. Not these quarterfinal ones. They're knowing, like Jonesy was saying, there's a spot in the semis along, so the energy comes right off the bat in these games.
Sent right back in and returned by the Flames. Is going back to play this. Austin Wilk. Wilk will turn in front of his own net and fanned on the pass. Turnover. Shot saved by CDOT, who came in with a season average save percentage of .938. However, the first few shots he saw, bouncing puck from about 195 feet on the back of the net.
Yeah, it's always tough, like taking a ground ball that hits a rock, just pops right up over your shoulder. Unfortunately, instead of just being a runner on base, that's the first goal of the game. Tough way to start, but since then he's seen some rubber, and I think he's probably going to feel it out. I mean, you don't go undefeated on the season without having a couple bad ones fly by you.
Face-off won by the Lions, in back behind their own red line, and almost mishandling the puck as Nerman will take it behind his own net. Nerman walks out, and the Lions will start the breakout. Aaron pass that was intended for Drago, and now Lombardi, and a shot, they score!
What a pass.
And
Brendan Murphy takes the lead for the Lions.
And again, just as we were talking about on that first goal, the passing from Lindenwood is spectacular. And with Barrows getting that goal and taking the lead, that lucky bounce for Liberty doesn't faze them too much. Lindenwood just right back with two unanswered.
Yeah, there's not much Halpenny can do there. Just stuck in there on the 2-on-1 and just an effortless pass. Look at the patience there. You know, Vic Lombardi, he can rush that pass if he puts it a little bit too far behind or a little bit too far ahead. But nope, just right down to the fundamentals, just snapping tape-to-tape passes.
Long shots for the Flames, but right now it's the Lions who have possession after that. We'll call it a fluky goal by the Lions. Right now it's 2-1 for Lindenwood as CDOT has to fight this one off. Makes a save and some extracurriculars into that far side corner.
A little bit of headlock, maybe a little bit of overkill. Needed to pull all the way over to the boards, but whatever you can do to protect CDOT.
A little bit easier to give a headlock when you're about 6 inches taller than the next man. But it was Barrows who got credited with the goal, and that was Barrows' first of the tournament.
First of the tournament.
We're not getting the score sheet that way. Let's take a look at head coach Rick Zombo. I'm sure he wasn't happy with the way the first goal was scored. Back one shot, and it didn't get to the net as Townsend was there to play it. And now near side. Domovsky up ahead for Lozano. And the shot from Townsend is saved by goaltender Halpenny as word sticks and shoves get exchanged. Usually not the gift giving that we like to see around the holiday time, but I'm sure once April rolls around, that happens in multiple sports.
Yeah, Garrett Nelson there for the Flames, just driving back Jake Townsend into the board. Kind of a similar situation we saw on the other side of the ice, just making sure he's not going anywhere near Halpenny.
Face off one back to the point. And a long shot in. That's easily blockered away by Halpenny. Trio of Lions, trio of Flames, and we're going to have our first penalty of the game. And let's see who the guilty party is. Looks like that's Kyler Newman who's going to go away for the Lions for 2 minutes, maybe less, if Liberty can find an equalizing goal amongst their special teams.
Yeah, and Liberty had a big night on the power plays we talked about in the pregame. 4 for 5 on the night. After Arizona took all those penalties, the Flames can make you regret taking penalties. They're one of the best power play teams in the nation and, of course, in their conference, the ESCHL. Let's see if the Flames can do something here to try to tie this game.
It was a tie-up off the face-off, but regardless, the Flames now have the puck. into the far side corner. It was left for Nelson. Nelson will go cross ice and a shot. That's C-Dot saved, and the Lions now possess the puck. Driving out of the zone comes Murphy to the red line and into the Flames blue line as he sends one on that Halpenny has a blocker away. The Lions with a forecheck going on their penalty kill. Change up a couple of lines as the Flames will try to enter the zone. A good active stick there by the defender in Ursulak. He still has the puck as the rest of the Lions change.
Yeah, great play there by Ursulak, making the turnover in the neutral zone, then also getting it deep himself, allowing the rest of his teammates to change and get a fresh line out there for the PK.
An aggressive penalty kill for the Lions as Thompson sends this far side corner. Nice healthy shove applied by Ryan, and he still has the puck. Far side hash mark. Now near side. Gammer, a shot turned away by C-Dot. Sent up and finally out of the zone as Halpenny will regroup for the Flames.
Just look at Lindenwood's penalty kill. They've seen to kind of figure out how Liberty sets up and not really allowing them to get too many chances. When the 2 chances have come, C-Dot's been ready for the task.
There's Roberts now giving chase. So we mentioned the YouTube network, the ACHA network that these games are broadcasted on. I mean, you don't have to pay for film for teams that play in this tournament. You just have to go to YouTube and find that. I mean, that has to be some sort of fiendish pleasure for coaches who are looking for free ways to scout opponents.
Yeah, it certainly is, especially when you see Liberty's breakout, right? Pretty common breakout of a double swing. You know, a lot of teams run that, but if you kind of start to learn another team's tendencies and you can watch them, you know, especially when you're on rest 24 hours before, you can really scheme up a lot of different ways to frustrate that other team as we're back to 5-on-5.
Burks now gains his own onside. He was met by Lomovsky, and play goes in the corner. We're picking this up as Newman. Newman goes cross ice, has a player here in the form of Lomovsky. He drops it, and a shot from the slot that's saved and then covered by Halpenny with 8:30, and that's where we will halt the score 2-1 in favor of the Lindenwood Lions.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, official merchandise partner of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA. And the City of Frisco.
Back at the Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas, just outside of Dallas, Texas, where we had severe weather that stopped a hockey game earlier. Back here, 8:30 in period number 1, the Lindenwood Lions lead the Liberty Flames by a score of 2-1. Bozic Chavar alongside Sam Fleming and Ryan Jones as Lindenwood now with the puck. Townsend, near side point as he gets it in and deep, and it took an awkward carom off the boards.
Big hit there.
Yep, right in front of the Flames bench. Trying to get this one deep was Mitchell. Returned back as Townsend goes red line to. They got to play this, I believe is Roberts. Nevertheless, now Lindenwood with a puck up ahead for Townsend. He's wide open, fought off by Halpenny on a shot that was labeled for the top left corner of the net.
And Liberty could see a lot of Josh Halpenny making some big saves. Again, Cole Burak and him, two of the best goaltenders in the ACHA. A great duo to have if you're head coach Kirk Handy. You can go night in and night out, but he's going to have a tough test facing some of the best shooters in Lindenwood.
Now near side as Blomberg had to send this. C-Dot stopped it with a stick, left it right behind his net to pick this up. Are the Lions. Now for Finnegan near side. Finnegan gains his zone and was looking for some in the slot, and the net comes off as Halpenny had to stand tall to keep this from crossing the red line after the crease.
That was a good pack check there by Pierce. 3-on-2 opportunity, but his hustle, not giving up, breaks up that pass. A couple of crashing bodies here as we see that nice blocker save again by Halpenny. But to finish that thought, it was all Pierce making that play. It ends up getting the net to come off, and we get a reset and play.
Halpenny 10 of 12 on the night. Giving up 2 goals and a tie-up as the puck trickled through the slot. Failing at his clearing attempt for the Flames, but after being harassed, the Lions will regroup at their own blue line. Now Green intercepts the puck, and it was knifed off of his stick as the Lions gain the zone. Our side backhand attempt hit the outside of the net, now laid up for a slot, was looking for a pair of Lions that were there. It was off target, but now to play this with a hard shot that didn't reach the net was Murphy. Got to play this Ursulak. Ursulak down below the red line, and shot that went over everyone from Kalow. Finally up, and this one will go the length of the ice sheet as trying to win the race and failing at it were our Lions. Clark there showing great speed, but 2 Lions and 1 Flames. Numbered matchup in favor of the Lions. They walk it out. And a shot saved by Halpenny, a rebound that was big and juicy as it rolled off with a stick of Halpenny. Back deep, hopped over the blade of Wilk, where he'll go back from his own red line and play this. Near side is Crago. He had trouble handling it. And it looks like it went off the linesman on the dump-in attempt. Gets the puck is Barrows, who already has a goal tonight. On the up as Wilk was there just outside the face-off circle, finally up and out of the zone. Going back with speed is Crago. Now Wilk up ahead, and that was Lombardi as a pair of Flames were there to await him. Cruikshank gets ran into the boards. Up and out, and finally out of zone as getting to the puck was Nermanen. Nermanen in front of the Flames bench. On the lines. Mitchell walking in, and he's rubbed into rather rudely by Bergen. Heavy hitting action here in the ACHA Division I, and it's taking the toll on everything, including the arena. Nermanen does get the puck all the way around, where Mitchell will play this far side. Up ahead and knifed down by Martin. Martin gains his own, lost it in the skates of Reynolds for the Flames. However, good speed, good skating allows the Lions to momentarily get the puck until the Flames now have it down the other way.
One of the things I was going to mention, Boz, is in order to get Lindenwood off their game, we've noticed Liberty has started playing the body on Lindenwood a little bit more. If Liberty can get physical, they can try to throw the Lions off their game, but it doesn't seem like much phases them because, as you were saying, Jonesy, it just looks effortless how Lindenwood moves the puck and plays the game.
Yeah, but I do think bringing that physicality, right, you kind of get a little bit frazzled. You know, you have to keep your head up because you don't know where that person is coming from, and also being physical and being aggressive, you're just going to crowd those passing lanes, and the more that you can crowd the passing lanes, make Lindenwood think twice about where you're going with the puck, the more that you're just going to frustrate, frazzle, and create a lot of turnovers, and hopefully gain some traction in transition.
The Flames have iced the puck with 4:17 left in the opening frame, with the Lions up ahead by a score of 2-1. To take this face-off for the Lions, Jordan Mofsky. Face-off win as Reynolds will go D to D around the back, and back for Reynolds here at the near side corner. Knifed up ahead for Roberts, but he couldn't handle it as it goes back to Murphy. Behind his own net. Behind his own net. That's Fricks. Down deep, and the Flames have iced the puck once again.
We've seen that play from a number of teams here, just kind of flip it up and try to, win a foot race there. Unfortunately, it's going to come all the way back down for an offensive zone face-off for Lindenwood.
And that play against Lindenwood does not work very often because they're such a hard back-checking team. They're one of the fastest teams here at that tournament. You're going to have to try to find ways to change it up. And last night, I think we counted it, calling the game against Arizona for Liberty. Kirk Handy changed up the forecheck about 5 or 6 times. So keep your eyes on that to see what Handy makes as his coaching moves.
And offside go of the Lions as Lozano had trouble getting the puck into the offensive zone. 3:43 left in the opening frame.
Yeah, Lozano there just maybe hopped up over his stick. before entering. A little hesitation.
And D to D, here we go. Bergen with it. Bergen, it was knifed down with a high touch from Klimowski. Klimowski now with it. Up and out of the zone, and now Finnegan with the puck, generating some speed. Still speeding down, and a shot that was wide of the far post. At the point, up ahead as they're a trio of Lions, and a save by Halpenny. The net is off its moorings with play halted.
What a pass there. I'd love to see the replay on this. That was absolutely gorgeous to set up that chance there.
A lot of the shots for the Lindenwood Lions coming from the slot area.
Yeah, in the slot areas where you can't give Lindenwood too much space. We take a look at the replay. What a pass. And yet again, it's Klimowski who fed Finnegan for the goal, feeding him there. But a great chance for Finnegan to find his second of the game, but an even better save by Josh Halpenny.
Halpenny up to the task tonight at a terrible turnover from the Flames. Backhand attempt wide as dodging the turnover so far of the Flames. Cruikshank now goes in the corner. He's working hard to get the puck out and hopefully generate something for the Flames. This one sitting right back into the near side corner off of Karam off the glass. Cruikshank again on the far side. Angled finally up and ladled down as applying a fair hit was Blomberg. Now finally deep as the Lions will get a change. As Lauber there to take it in the far side corner. He had trouble. Regains the puck as he reverses track. Murphy with his kick save. Now up ahead as Grego on a shot that went wide from Lozano. Out of the corner, finally back behind the net. And Thompson will take it for the Flames. Ladles this one out and out of the zone, and it deflects off the Lindenwood bench back, or I guess the boards in front of the Lindenwood bench.
Bring up the boards, Boz, and we talked about how interesting bounces that have come off of them. Some of these stanchions are a little off-centered, and we've seen some weird bounces come with the puck. A couple chances here early where the puck has come back into play. Let's see if teams use that to their advantage to possibly draw up a little bit of a trick play.
Murphy with a shot that sailed wide, but it was also deflected by Halpenny as Fricks will now take this, the near side boards. Ahead for Thompson, and he lost control as the Flames enter the zone offside with 1:40 left in the first period.
Yeah, like both of you guys are saying, the board's definitely stealing the storyline of this tournament. We've had some delays with things popping off. You can even see in the Zamboni doors as he's ready to pull out right now, there's kind of a little bit of a gap there. So now that teams have played here for the week, especially in the semifinals, that's going to come in huge for the rest of the tournament.
Thing to remember, most teams here have only played, this is only their second game. So, and that's going to be a boarding call. That was dangerous and a down Flame there as he took the worst end of that. That was Fricks.
Definitely a boarding, could even warrant a charging penalty as he came in there very fast. It'll be interesting to see what kind of discussion the refs are going to have after this one.
And last night in the Arizona game, which led to the start of Liberty's buildup, a hit on his brother, Josh Fricks, which sent him to the locker room. This would be a tough loss for the Flames if Jacob Fricks goes down, their top defenseman.
Yeah, we're going to take a review of this. And I think a justifiable review is that was one an ill-advised hit, two a nasty way to fall on the boards.
Yeah, and as you said, Josh Fricks scratched from the lineup tonight too. So, I mean, the fact that he's not even going to be in the game immediately, Jacob going to the locker room. And, you know, I think once a player gets escorted out to the locker room by the trainer, it's going to be pretty hard to justify Ernst staying in this game as well. You know, maybe an ejection for, you know, putting somebody out like that. It's pretty tough.
See if we get a view of the replay. I know when it comes to these type of reviews, safety is the primary concern for the officials.
And that was just a big hit. You didn't quite see it coming. Fricks was a little bit turned to the back, I believe. But this could be a huge shift in the game if this is a 5-minute power play potentially. Another DQ that goes in the favor of the Flames. That's how they got the lead last night on the power play. So we'll see what the referees decide. Again, taking a look at this second time we've had a decision on a penalty potentially review today, we saw that happen in the Minot Adrian game earlier.
All right, now it looks like Ernst is still in the box as the referees. It looks like they've made their decision. We'll take a look at it, and it's going to be a 2-minute call. And I'm sure Liberty wants an explanation as to why it's only 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if there wasn't. I don't think that Ernst was trying to be particularly malicious. Maybe just a little bit over eager and kind of caught Fricks in a weird spot. But I'm sure Liberty is probably frustrated with only getting 2 minutes after such a big hit.
Nevertheless, they'll have the 2 minutes and maybe some carryover. I'm sure if you're a Flame faithful, you're hoping that they do square up this hockey game right here with an equalizing goal on the power play.
And they've got their top unit out there with Quinn Ryan, Cole Gammer, Brock Thompson, that dangerous shooting line that the Flames have. And then they put their defensemen up on the forwards, actually running they put Nelson up there, Blomberg an extra forward. So 4 forwards and 1 defenseman for the Flames on this power play.
Now the Flames have this. And Lindenwood content to just kill as much time as the puck is sent into the Lindenwood bench. 1:14 left in this opening frame. Face-off will come right in front of the Lindenwood bench. Looks like they had to grab an puck as well. Lindenwood didn't want to cough it up after it went to the bench. Backhanded in by Gammer. Back to play is C-Dot. And this one goes all the way around the boards. Finally out of the zone. We're back to play it is Ryan. Ryan will drop it for Gammer at his own blue line. And now Gammer leaves it for Thompson. That was an errant pass. But there to give support is Ryan as he circles back as we enter the last 60. With speed goes Ryan. Ryan's still with it. He pulls up and a backhand, maybe an attempt. That was short of the near post. Post point to point. Now back to Thompson. Enters the zone. Went off a line stick. With the last 30 we go.
Yeah, once again, Lindenwood with a pretty strong power play right now. Not a lot of chances for Liberty. They really haven't even set up their power play offense in that Lindenwood zone without being absolutely harassed.
Thompson was the line who first got to the puck as trying to rattle this around the boards, and it only got to the hash marks. Townsend down low, battling Bochinski. Finally up and out as Nelson tried to keep it in, as that's how the first period ends. After the first 20 minutes, Lindenwood finds themselves up 2-1. Final thoughts for this period, Jonesy?
I mean, they're up 2-1. They probably should be up 2-0, and that was all Lindenwood. If I'm Liberty, I'm going to the locker room, taking a long, hard look at myself in the mirror and saying, how bad do I want it? Know that they played just 24 hours ago. Weird schedule today with a lot of delays, but I would like to see a lot more out of the Flames because so far, Lindenwood looks like they have not even broken a sweat.
Yeah, and Lindenwood just making it look effortless. Their penalty kill has been really strong, and their passing absolutely spectacular. No doubts about it. A lot of patience that they have. But for Liberty, they got to keep the game simple. They aren't really favored in this game, but they do have a chance to try to knock off the #1 team down by a goal, even though it was all Lindenwood. This is a chance for the Flames to try to come back, still with 32 seconds left on the power play.
Jay Sewell, Thomas Biondo waiting for you on the other side of the break. After the first 20 minutes, Lindenwood up 2-1.
Shirts, sweatshirts, and more. By Barron Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA national champions and ACHA Hall of Famers. Every championship ring has a great story. Let Barron
I'm Thomas Biondo here. That's Jay Sewell here. We've reached the first intermission in this game between the Liberty Flames and the Lindenwood Lions, with the Lions on top. They lead by a score of 2-1. And Jay, when this game started, it looked like Lindenwood started on the power play. They had ownership of the puck for the first 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, and we got 14-8 of the shots on goal, and so it's not that far much of a differential, but the ice is definitely tilted in Lindenwood's favor. They spent the majority of the entire period dominating that number one position, and I don't know, maybe the early. The way they had it with Arizona last night and the dominance they showed last night. I mean, 7 goals and 12 assists versus Arizona. Maybe they just thought they'd have more confidence coming in here, but Lindenwood is demonstrating their number one seeding.
Yeah, there's no question about that. The funny thing is, let's actually, before I go there, let's go here first. I thought the one time that Liberty really did hold their own, their first power play, about midway through the period, they really did get a little bit of offense going from that, but that was it. Just while they were on the man advantage, they had the chance. The rest of the period, it really felt like Lindenwood's period.
Yeah, you almost wonder where Arizona made every attempt to push Liberty around last night. And for whatever reason, Liberty thinks they can just push Lindenwood around, and I'm not sure that strategy is going to work. So hopefully they can regroup here when we get into the middle and figure out how to, between periods and intermission, and get a different message and try and get that up ice and play some more zone time.
Yeah, now Liberty did have a little bit of Lady Lucky Liberty in the first period, though, as they get a goal from about 120 feet away, as Fritz throws one up in the air, and it just completely side hops and goes over the shoulder of Cooper Cedot to make it 1-0. The Flames actually led this game.
Yeah, it must have had some really good English on it, but it felt like a tennis ball that accelerates after it hits the turf and picks off. Because I mean, it just surprised him. He had no idea, and all of a sudden the arm is going up, and he didn't even turn around.
Yeah, I mean, he was moving right, and it beat him back over his left shoulder.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. I don't know what he saw, but I do want to say last night, Arizona Liberty game, Josh Fricks was taken out by a pretty hard hit that ended up in a disqualification of a DQ player. We just want to wish the lad well. He's out tonight on a scratch. We know he got injured, and he's not able to play tonight, so get well to you, and we'll hope that you're on the mend.
That sentiment is echoed by everybody at the ACHA network, because as much fun as we have with these games, as great as they have been to watch, you just don't want anybody getting hurt.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Last year we had Arizona. Hicks went down with a broken hip, and we saw him come back, and he played a stellar game the first game, and unfortunately they ended up losing a game. But it's been a brawl, and the game before this was finally won by Dearborn. They just had a very, very solid game. But I tell you, Davenport gave them every chance. Every time they got the lead, Davenport chipped away at it, and it wasn't until 2 empty net goals.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times they said 2 empty net goals, one of them being a shorthanded.
Yeah.
But that's how it went.
Shorthanded empty net goal, answered by a power play goal, answered by another empty net goal.
Yeah, it was a wild finish, and all of the contests today.
Yes.
Iowa State prevails in a 3-2. That was a nail biter all the way to the end. And the same thing with Minot Adrian. Adrian, the number 2 seed. But I tell you, Minot had really good control of that entire game. And you were just waiting. I mean, they just peppered and peppered. I know they outshot them. I don't know what the margin was.
15, because that was
it was a lot. I should have written it down. It was a lot wide margin, but Minot just came out on fire, and maybe this is the year that jinx of the number 1, number 2 seed that's eluded them before coming into the tournament and getting bounced out in the quarters or in the semis. Maybe it's their time.
Yeah, so it's Lindenwood who's got to avoid that. They did bounce back after that, bad goal, lucky goal, whatever you want to call it, as they scored 2. Finnegan gets his 3rd already in just 4 periods, and then Barrows would score Barrows would score just a couple minutes later, and it would be the 2-1 score that we have now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Liberty's goalie is actually seeing the puck all that well. He charged it, he stopped a few, but he looks a little I'd want to just leave him alone in the corner during the intermission.
Yeah.
Let him gather his thoughts.
Don't you always leave the goalie alone though and let him? Aren't they kind of a special breed, being able to stop taking all that rubber on and stopping 100-mile-an-hour puck?
There is a difference, although I think in this day and age of hockey, it's a little less than it used to be. But I mean, you look at the NHL; those guys are really part of the club these days.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. So it could be even worse than the 2-1 scores. There were 2 really great attempts. One off of a turnover, one just a great save by the aforementioned Hal Penny. He was sharp enough on that one. I had that written down right around the 3-minute mark, with about 3 minutes to go in the period. You get the feeling that if that had gone in and it gets to 3-1 heading into the third or into the intermission, it could be a lot of trouble for Liberty. Instead, the 1-goal difference, they're still in this game.
Yeah, just put it behind you, get back in your net, get a few, stop a few pucks at the beginning of the second intermission. But he could see 40, 45 shots in this game. If you start to think about the 14 shots and triple that up, pretty soon you've got a pretty good shot count.
But you mentioned it a moment ago with him, and I thought there were times Proudlock for Dearborn, one of the best goalies in the country, a 1.5 goals against average, a save percentage around 9.4. He seemed to be fighting the puck off a little bit too today. So, yeah, but he ended up winning.
It's an interesting story because again, the goalies have been the story in every game we've had so far. We could put 20 kids in an all-star team, ACHA Division I.
Yeah, I know. Your first-line goalie, second-line goalie, third-line goalies, fourth-line goalies. But honestly, there will be a full tournament team. There will also be a 3 stars of the night with Matt Coma and the ACHA Tonight coming up after this one, so make sure you tune in for that. We're going to go ahead and step aside. When we come back, the boys will have period number 2. You are watching the ACHA Division I Men's National Championship.
know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
We the people. We are innovators, dreamers, leaders. Yeah, we feel pain. We get tired, but it won't stop us. God's call is our pursuit, and we will champion His name.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be? Surely that can't be practical. But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest. Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them with a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
Frisco, Texas, the Comerica Center, Game 12 of the 2019 ACHA Men's Division I National Championship, and we'll welcome you back inside of Frisco, Texas, at the Comerica Center, which is still standing after our severe weather alert that we had earlier today. Samuel C. Fleming, Ryan Jones, Boz Echevarria on the call. Through the first 20 minutes, it's been zany. It's been wild. I don't know what other adjectives I could use to explain this game, but it's been a wild one. Jones, you've even had an impact on the game.
I sure did. I kind of cursed our boy CDOT, calling him out at the beginning of the game, saying that, boasting the .938 save percentage. He's been undefeated all year, 25 games, and I'm talking about there's no way you could score on this guy from 200 feet down the ice, let alone they sure do. A shot from Fricks, nice little one hop. Unfortunately, CDOT does not crow hop it, doesn't stay up on it, bounces right up over that left shoulder. 1-0 off the bat, Liberty.
Bringing the baseball references.
Well, we got the Oregon going today. Feels like a day game at Wrigley, as our executive producer Matt Coma says.
I was going to go more United Center with that, where the Blackhawks call home. But
there you go.
Sam C. Fleming, your first 20 minutes.
Yeah, so the first 20 minutes, again, it started out with that weird bounce for Liberty, but it didn't faze Lindenwood whatsoever. They come back and do what they do best, and that's control the game. Some crisp passes. Ryan Finnegan, again, who continues his great first ever ACHA National Tournament. with his third goal of the tournament, a beautiful goal, and then Blair Barrows with the lead goal on another great pass. And it just seems effortless what Lindenwood does, and they move the puck so well. And, you know, Rick Zombo has got that team strongly ready for this tournament, looking to get another semifinal berth and possibly another interview with you, Boz, which last year became a pretty big hit on the broadcasts up in Columbus.
We're throwing everything out there right now. Speaking of semifinals, the first semifinal scheduled to take place 4 p.m. here, Central Daylight Time at the Comerica Center, formerly known as the Dr. Pepper Arena, but still out of Frisco, Texas. The first one is scheduled for 4 p.m. Second game scheduled roughly around 7:30. Should the game end on time in regulation, all 60 minutes used to decide a winner. Of course, if that doesn't occur after the 4 o'clock game, it could be a little bit later. Of course, none of the seedings are set, as this Lindenwood Liberty Flames matchup, the deciding factor in that, as the Flames will still have 25 seconds left on their power play on a clean sheet of ice. Nelson will activate from the point, and he's unable to keep this in. As back to corral this, and retreating back to his own blue line was Cruikshank. Now here near side for Nelson. Nelson will send this one deep as it rattles around the boards and up over multiple sticks. Deciding to walk in from the point is Buczynski. Now down low for Cruikshank. Cruikshank tried to backhand something out to the slot and takes a couple shoves for his efforts. Now finally backing out of the zone as Nelson will just get this one deep as the Flames go for a change. C-Dot plays it out, and a host of lines all by themselves as Lombardi will shoot this hit the outside of the cage. Lombardi to gives chase, had support there from Ernst, who just got out of the box, and finally up ahead and not seeing it was Gammer. Nermanen goes back and sends us all the way around the boards and out of the zone, and coming back is Lauber to play this and angles it off the board, where Gammer angles it off the glass as McBridge, the linesman, had to avoid getting hit by the puck. Cox fires it. It was deflected off Nermanen, and he plays it, angles it off the corner boards, and looks like Ursulak was there. He couldn't get to it. Finally up and not out, but the Flames do carry it before it was turned over. And now Nermanen from his own blue line knifed off of his stick with a good poke check. D to D and sent up ahead for the Lions is now gloving it down and entering the zone is Kalau. Kalau flails at it.
Yeah, nice move to get across the crease. Just couldn't quite get that backhand reach across to put it behind.
Looking for Kalau, who's right in front of the doorstep. The stick was down on the ice. An opportunity there as the Flames come the other way. Angled off the skate was a pass attempt from Buczynski. Now Martin attempt that had to be turned away from Hallpenny, and Martin tangled up there with a player in Bergen. Circling around goes Green. Green at the far side hash marks. Hold up the brakes, and the Lions keep this one in and sends it wide in that here near side corner. No Flames on support as they had to get a change, and getting crunched there was Martin. Now finally deep in the slot. A shot that had to be turned away by Hallpenny and sent all the way down as the Flames officially now have iced the puck.
And you just watch this Lindenwood team. We've talked about the passing time and time again. You see these plays where it doesn't look like they can find a way to make the pass, and somehow it's on the stick of one of the teammates, and they get good quality scoring chances out of nothing. These broken plays that the Lions turn into something have led to them maybe controlling this game a little bit more.
And a shot, they score! 3-1 Martin!
Well, I guess on cue is Lindenwood quickly wins the draw, and it's Zach Mitchell who buries that one in the back of the net. Just a quick shot off the faceoff, no hesitation from number 23.
And take a look at this. A real win, and Mitchell with a quick flip.
It's Heinzman with the draw there, and Hallpenny never had a chance there. Just a quick wrister.
Mitchell's first in the tournament, and it's going to grow the lead to 2. C-Dot goes behind. Runyon gets us out for the Lions, now up ahead for Mitchell. Lions coming offside. Shots in favor of the Lindenwood Lions, 17-8.
Now if you're Liberty, after you get that weird bounce of a goal to start, now you give up 3 unanswered. You've just got to try to settle in and play your game and try to keep it simple, but it's hard to play the game you're used to when you're playing the Lindenwood Lions, the top-ranked team, and the only one-loss team this year. They've got to find a way to try to beat Lindenwood as best as they can.
Now you could say the Flames woke up the Lions in 3 unanswered goals. The Flames looking to answer after their first quick score and the 3 answer that Sam alluded to. The face-off circle, Cox. And now up ahead as taking a check there was Gromowski. Finally up and just barely out of the zone, is retreating back to play this. The Lions finally up ahead and blowing a tire there was Nelson. Cruikshank goes D to D. And Nelson will take this from behind his own net.
Once again, the Lions kind of allowing the Flames just to try to break that neutral zone press that they're throwing at them. Is basically daring them to come at them.
A hard press here, full court, well, full ice press from the Lions. Not quite on a court. As Klimowski enters the zone. And this one whacked off a stick, and down low was Finnegan, as now the Flames will break this out in form of Roberts. An attempt, and getting his glove on his Hallpenny as he was sprawled out in all kinds of direction to try to keep this out of the net.
Yeah, Baczynski with a nice stick there, just laying out, trying everything so that pass couldn't go across the slot for a scoring chance.
Yeah, and with Ryan Finnegan, that's a guy that you've got to try to eliminate as much space as possible. As you take a look at the replay here, he just taps that through the 2 defenders, Cox and Cruikshank. But again, a good save from Hallpenny on a bouncing puck and a great stick from Ryan Cox to break that up.
As Lindenwood right now kind of swarming. Kind of a packed mentality for the Lions as Lauber behind his own net to play this up ahead for Gammer. Gammer trying to feed this one out of the zone, break it out for the Flames. He's harassed by 3 Lions, and a pass that was Aaron as Ryan and the rest of the Flames were offside. Allows time for Wilk to play this out of his own defensive zone, up ahead for teammate Lombardi, and now near side pass as there was a turnover there. Gammer will just dump this one in. Far side, the Flames. A puck saved by CDOT, and the puck stayed on the ice. No height to that shot as CDOT turns away another shot. Boczynski was down low, and now Boczynski momentarily possessed the puck as the Lions now will break this one out in the form of Heinzman. Up in a rolling puck there, as I'm sure Hallpenny paid attention to that first goal the Flames scored. He's careful in making sure that puck doesn't take a weird hop over him. And now a shot saved by CDOT with 14:39 left in the second period.
And something that we've noticed is going back and forth between the tunnel. He just went back down the tunnel, is Jacob Fricks, who was hit hard in the corner in that first period. And that's a tough loss for Liberty. Their top defenseman down, and again, that makes them go back to 5 defensemen. And you know how tough that is, Jonesy, when you play in a game, especially when you only dress 6 defensemen.
Yeah, I mean, dressing 6 and then going down to 5, you're going to have guys ending up around 30 minutes of playing time tonight. Plus, they played last night. That's just, honestly, the fatigue. I mean, even though these guys have trained all this time for this, that turnaround, and then to go down shorthanded unexpectedly is a really brutal loss for the Flames. We'll see how they'll try to battle it out tonight.
Up ahead, Martin couldn't draw it and left it behind. A turnover in the Flame zone. Shot from the slot that was deflected only slightly, but enough to get it into the corner. Hamilton will get credit for that block. Runyon now at the red line. Will leave it for his D-man in Cox. Entering the zone go the Lions. Mitchell, who already scored a goal, tried to feed it to the slot, kind of the area for the Lions here in the first 20, or we'll call it 27 minutes. Back the other way to play this is Townsend. Up ahead. And Reynolds will have it for the Flames. Goes D to D. Far side now back near side for Gammer as Gammer will go far side corner. Waiting for it was Townsend. And he'll angle it off the end boards. Now played for Newman. He was ran into as Reynolds took it at the red line. Thompson offers a couple of checks. The Lions maintain possession. Back into the zone, Ursulak looking for a feed in the slot. That was nicely defended by the Flames, up and over everyone. As Ryan's down there, Seedall will have to play it out of his net and leaves it for Townsend at the far side corner. Newman plays it off his skates.
4-on-2 developing.
Leads the zone, and Ursulak with a shot that Halpenny puts a squeeze on with 12:45 in the middle frame.
Yeah, and we've noticed Liberty has started throwing the body a little bit more. Something we were talking about, the physicality, maybe going to have to be the way the Flames try to take Lindenwood off their game. Brock Thompson right in front of his own bench threw about 3 hits on 3 different Lions. So Liberty's starting to throw the body around a little more.
Finnegan with a shot and he scores! 4-1 Lions.
Once again, another chance created right off that offensive zone face-off. Leading scorer, we're going to say it, Finnegan, and again. Just steps out, nice shot. Little bounce there.
And again, that's the second goal straight off the face-off, back-to-back, as a matter of fact, as Josh Halpenny has been pulled from the game. But again, you cannot give Finnegan that much space. 4th goal of the tournament for number 17.
It's going to be Cole Burak, who's a replacement. And is this one of those moves that is made primarily intended to wake up your team?
When I look at it at this point, you've got to try to do something to wake up the team. We saw how much it woke up Minot when their top starting goaltender went down, and they put the backup in, and they ended up winning that game 3-2. So could Liberty get a little momentum having Burak in the net now?
This one up, and now to play this puck up ahead is Bochinski. And back the lines will get it Foreman Nurmanen at his own blue line. Knifed off by Bochinski, and he tried to put the spin move on the line defender. Wasn't having any of it. Now Nurmanen the other way. Nurmanen cross pass, and a save by Burak as he comes in cold. All right, back from that slot area. Shot that was shouldered off by Burak. And behind his own net is Nelson. Turnover here into the slot again. The Lions were looking for it, and that's a wide open shooting gallery for the Lions. Cox on the end boards. Cox and Roberts there for the Flames. Trying to soccer this and just whacking at it with a couple of kicks was Runyon. Still over there, ref telling him to get it going, and Runyon finally digs this one out after a couple of whacks, kicks, and displacements. Seedot will glove it, and he's content with just waiting this one out with 11:09.
He was looking for it. He wanted that stretch pass. You know he can.
Well, I mean, the way that he got scored on, you think he was probably saying it down 200 feet. Ryan realized he had a teammate offside and had to pull up at the blue line. Is going to play this behind his own net. It was Murphy up ahead and over the stick, but good hustle there by Ernst as he finally does get the puck in for the Lions. Up in the slot, and Ernst was at the doorstep. He was looking for a feed to knock it in and possibly extend this lead to 4. The Flames looking for an answer, and Seedot will calmly cover this up with 10:34. And I think we will get our media break here with 10:40 left in the second period. The Lions lead the Flames 4-1.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, proud sponsor and championship ring provider for the ACHA. Warrior Sports, the preferred stick supplier of the ACHA. The Dallas Stars. For tickets and more information, visit dallasstars.com. And Southwest Airlines, the official event airline partner of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
Face-off one to the lines as didn't really miss much. It was just a face-off win. But back at the Comerica Center, the Lions up 4-1 on the Flames as both schools looking for a berth in the semifinal of the ACHA Division I men's tournament. CDOT was momentarily going to play this. Decided to come back was Newman.
2-on-1 here.
And that 2-on-1 ensues with Patience. Now when near side was looking for Heinzman. Heinzman looking for a second goal of the tournament. And we'll go D to D as Crutchchain will play this finally up. But there to wait for it was Newman.
And that's just the play that Lindenwood does so smart here.
That's going to be a hooking call too. Sorry to cut you off there, Sam, but.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a power play here for Lindenwood, but that's the thing they do so smart. When they know that there's going to be a breakout coming away from Liberty, they've always got a defenseman back for that lob pass in the air, just there to cover it. Newman back to break it up, and it turns into a chance on the power play for Lindenwood to continue to extend this lead.
And the face-off will come to the blocker side of Burak, who was sent in this game just moments before the media timeout. And one for the Flames. This will go all 200 feet as CDOT will plug it, play it, and leave it behind his own net. Near side for Lozano. And looking for a far side slot shot. Kind of the shot of choice right now for Lindenwood and really all game. Glove down, finally up and back. The full length of the ice as CDOT checks his surroundings and will leave it for Murphy. 9 minutes left in the middle frame. Up and Lozano does touch it. Well, at least I thought he did. The linesman deciding otherwise, and we will have, I think the faceoff is actually going to come at center ice.
Yeah, so maybe a misplaced whistle.
So Lindenwood not fully punished, but they do not get the puck in the Liberty zone. As a faceoff will come right at the Dallas Star logo. One back as Nerman will corral it at his own blue line, and the Lions will work the breakout on this power play that has 67 seconds left on it. Left back. Heinzman. Heinzman really patient here for Lindenwood. Now down low. Back to Heinzman at the far side corner. Up to Nerman in. We'll get it for Townsend. Back to Nerman in. Oh, drive one off the blocker. The goaltender and Burak. All penny pulled halfway through this period. Townsend at the top of the circle. Cross ice pass. And sent to no one really in that general direction. And back to play this. CDOT as the puck reached his area, his vicinity. Heinzman from his own blue line to the other blue line. Walks in and chips it up ahead. And back to play it are the Flames. A weird carom off the boards right at the hash marks. Now back for Townsend. Townsend puts on the brakes. And back to the top for Nerman in. Far side for Finnegan. Now down low.
They were looking for that give and go back to Finnegan, and it was it looked like it was Wilk who couldn't get it back to him.
Townsend. And into the corner as a couple of lines change after that power play. Just an example of patience as there's that weird carom off of Zamboni doors. Laid out in front, finally up, but not out as the puck was kept in by Newman. Now at the far side hash as Mitchell is there. Finally up and out, and icing waved off as Townsend will play this from his own corner.
And that penalty kill there for Liberty is a little bit of a momentum helper for them. Even though Lindenwood's still possessing the puck, that's got to feel good when you can kill off that good a power play. Still keep them in this game only down by 3, even though it is a big margin to come back from.
Yeah, Lindenwood absolutely insane on the power play this year, scoring at almost 38.8%. That's unheard of.
Our side hash marks up as the Flames will regroup down low. CDOT had to turn this one away as a puck squirted through. Now near side for Wilk. Head for Ursulak. Ursulak chips it up ahead, was looking for his teammate in Kalow. Far side top of the circle. And Wilk will play this. Finally up and across ice is Gammer. The Flames finally get it out of the zone, and they're just having all kinds of trouble of getting it to the the Lindenwood zone.
Yeah, and this is what happened in the Robert Morris game. Once Lindenwood took control of that game from the first period, the Eagles couldn't get in their own into the offensive zone. Lindenwood just dominating possession at the moment.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like Lindenwood has just sucked all the oxygen out of this building, right? The fans aren't necessarily too crazy excited. There's not a lot of chatter going on between the Lindenwood players. That just seems like they almost know telepathically where each other are. And even though they're just working hard, outworking the Flames right now, you just look at that Flames bench, and even though guys are standing up, their hearts just don't seem into it. It's almost as if they know when you're down 3 goals to a team like Lindenwood, that's a death sentence.
And, you know, Jonesy, we talked about it with Lindenwood, though. Even though they're up by 3 goals, they are not letting off the gas. They're just continuing to try to generate chances. Finnegan looking for the hat trick for the second time. Of course, he came up 1 goal short in that first game against Robert Morris, but they are just moving the puck effortlessly.
Up and over the net as Lindenwood still with possession. Got to respect the fight, though, out of Hamilton and the rest of the Flames, as they're going to try to avoid said death sentence, as this would be a season killer losing to the Lions, as most of the play is in a playoff scenario, a win or go home scenario, as Cox plays it in the Lindenwood zone. Townsend will take a couple of bodies there in the near side corner, trying to walk away with the Flames, but Townsend will come out with it, guide it up ahead and for his teammate Finnegan. And the Lions coming offside with 4:44 left in the middle frame.
Tough to go offside there. Is Finnegan with a pretty nasty move that was going to set up a lot of space for the rest of those guys.
And again, the word space and Finnegan, when it comes to mind, that's what teams don't want to allow, because we've talked about it time and time again. When he gets that open space, he makes the most of his chances. He had 4 goals in the national tournament already.
Nerminen will send this one into the far side Zamboni doors. And with a puck, a shot that it didn't reach the net from Ernst. Down low, Lindenwood content to work and generate their offensive chances from down low, feeding it to the slot. Ernst, it was a little bit behind him as he lays a heavy check, and not really feeling that play was Bocinski. He got up a little slowly, and then had a battle with Nerminen, and finally successfully gets this one out of the zone as Nerminen might get called for interference here.
Looks like it.
Nerminen tried to plead his case.
I don't know if he was pleading his case, rather more shouting expletives at the ref, and I don't think that is going to help his case.
I don't know about expletives. I think he was probably just talking about the weather delay we had before the game. But now a chance for Liberty on the power play. But this is the thing about Lindenwood. Just as good as they are on the power play, they're just as good on the penalty kill. Around 91% for the year on the PK. That's just something special that the Lions have been able to do.
Finally up and out as Ryan will play this from the point. He sends it in. A lot of traffic in front of CDOT. And then CDOT gets bumped into. Back to Ryan at the point. Ryan will go D to D here. And a shot that hit a couple of sticks and deflected wide into the near side corner. Nelson gets pinned up against the board as the Lions trying to offer support and dig this one out. And now more support from the Flames and Gammer. He's also there. So the battle. And finally up around The end boards says now to play this puck is Thompson. To Ryan. Ryan puts the brakes on, sent out in front. The rebound was left in the slot as Ryan soccers it up to his stick. Walking in to the face-off circle. A shot came from the Flames, and finally sending this down the full length of the ice is going to be Lombardi as he peels off for a change.
And you just watch that power play. Even though Liberty able to set up in the zone, they just had no chance really to take good shots on net. Lindenwood taking away all the space in the shooting lanes.
And Pierce walked it in. He fired a shot off. That was turned away by CDOT. Into the corner. A good battle there was Cox and Townsend. They're still doing battle there as Gammer will play it back to Ryan at the top. And now back to Ryan at the logo. Ryan tried to pass it to his teammate Cruikshank. It wasn't there, and finally just barely out of the zone as Cruikshank will circle at his red line and go D to D for Ryan. Ryan harassed here in a check and up ahead. Burak made the save off of Green. Green trying to stick handle away, just sent this through the crease and finally out as the Flames will take this puck the other way. Thompson trying to lead the charge. It rolled off of his stick as he just left it at the point. And maybe evading a too many men call where the Flames just barely.
Yeah, pretty close there. There's now another 2-on-2 developing with just 2 seconds left. We're going to go back to even strength here.
Townsend walks up and he gets stood up by Wilson. Cruikshank into the corner and going to try far side as Thompson was calling for it. And the Lions have iced the puck with 2 minutes left in period number 2.
It just doesn't look like Liberty has much energy in this period. They had a couple good starts. Here's that shorthanded chance again from Green, just a little bit wide on the net of Burak. But again, Lindenwood continuing their success on the PK. They did give up only 1 power play goal in that win over Robert Morris after having a 5-on-3 penalty kill to go against.
Wojcinski finally gets us out of zone, and back to the point that Ryan made and Sam just alluded to is the fact that it almost feels like the way that Lindenwood's playing defense is just suffocating. They're on you.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's tough to come out with energy when, you know.
And the pass that was turned away by Nelson.
I wanted to hold that thought to let that play come through, but yeah, just tough. You get that good bounce at the beginning, but then Lindenwood not really letting you enjoy any minute of this game. They come right back, and just with the schedule changes, the tough turnaround, and the way that Lindenwood plays, I mean, this is a pretty textbook example game of just, conservative gameplay, but also just executing all of the little things, tape-to-tape passes, getting back in transition. Just a very, very well-coached team, this Lindenwood Lions.
60 seconds left in period number 2. Back to play it. It's a 1-on-2, I should probably say, for the Lions. But the Flames will come out with this situation as Runyon tried to send this one deep. Out of possession, finally just lobbing this one in was Lauber. Lozano, D to D. And that's going to be Murphy. Murphy had this one roll off of his stick. On the other side for Thompson as it hopped over his blade. Thompson gives chase, he puts the brakes on and fed this all the way across into the corner. Gammer losing that, back the other way. Lindenwood still skating hard. Finally just angled back, but into the glove. And the Lions are offside with 12.2.
I think one of the things, too, about Lindenwood, you talked about it with C-Dot, some Jonesy, is the stretch pass that they can hit and connect with on these deep passes. They always seem to leave a guy hanging high in the neutral zone, and it seems to work out for them more times than not. And you think some of these teams seeing Lindenwood and the highlights of this team throughout the year, they figure it out, but Lindenwood always finds a way to make it work.
Yeah, and I don't know how much film you can watch just to stop the talent that Lindenwood has. You know, film room goes a long way, but at the end of the day, I mean, talent can take you a long way, especially when Lindenwood is putting in those hours as well. So overall, I mean, for the next period, if I'm Liberty, I think you're really going to try to come out with any little bit of energy left. We'll see if they can do that.
Yeah, and I think for Lindenwood, they just got to keep playing their game. They're not going to let off the gas. Rick Zombo is going to want his team to finish strong going into the semifinals tomorrow if they can see this result out. But for Kirk Handy, you've just got to tell your team, keep fighting. This game's not over. There's still 20 minutes. It might be a 3-goal deficit, but any team can overcome that on any given day.
We'll see if Liberty can do that in the next 20 minutes. But first, we'll take you intermission. Jay Sewell, Thomas Beyond it with you to join you after this break.
Welcome to your second intermission update here inside the Comerica Center with the Lindenwood Lions on top of the Liberty Flames 4-1 with 40 in the books. And Jay Sewell, the big thing that happened in that period, 2 goals for Lindenwood, both of them off of face-off wins.
Yeah, I don't know the draws. Again, icing the puck can be a good way to settle your team down and get the puck out of the defensive zone so that you can resettle. But the puck comes back into your zone, and it's always dangerous when you got a team like Lindenwood, so strong in the face-off circle, and they made Liberty pay twice, dearly.
Yep. In addition to that, they're also having a really tough time stopping the Lions, even when it's not off of a face-off, because Lindenwood already has 23 shots. What did Arizona have? I believe 14 in the game yesterday? They're already 10 over what they gave up yesterday.
Yeah, and right now they're sort of using Hal Penny as target practice. The defense has to tighten up a little bit. And again, Liberty, they just need to stop overthinking the game. I think what's going on is they're behind. They had a pretty easy, I wouldn't say easy game last night. There was some things that happened in the game that probably favored Liberty, and maybe they got overconfident. But less body and more thought out there. It's a team sport. Be patient. Not everybody has to be the hero. And if you're Lindenwood, they simply look confident. There's a swagger when they come up ice that we haven't seen in a lot of teams. Again, you've got Dearborn has a little bit of that as well as Minot, but Lindenwood demonstrates their #1 seeding in this tournament.
You're exactly right about that. In addition to using Hal Penny as target practice, Burbachens actually took over after that 4th goal went in. So both Liberty goaltenders are seeing the ice tonight. In addition to that, I actually want to go to Finnegan for the Lions. He's now got his 4th of the tournament through 5 periods. Somebody wants to be an MVP, tournament MVP, it sounds like.
Yeah, in a goal scorer's goals, and he's got that nose for that puck. He's always in the areas. He's not afraid to shoot the puck, and I think that's maybe something that Liberty should take notice of. Not only put somebody on him on a man-to-man situation rather than playing the zone, but also they need to start shooting the puck. They've got to be patient coming in the zone. Don't shoot it, have it come out the other side, and now you're skating 200 feet back to chase down the Lindenwood Lions. You don't want to be in a track meet with Lindenwood.
Well, I mean, the rule really needs to be, and I don't know if it's stressing that that puck needs to get on goal.
Yes.
If you miss it high and wide, you normally hear about it on a power play situation where if you miss the net, you're going all the way back. But even in even strength situations where you put one high and wide and it rattles off the boards, you're right. These Lions are going to catch up to that at center ice and create an odd man rush.
Yeah, it's. I mean, anybody who's ever played pool, you know that when you hit from the side, it's coming out the other way.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, and that's the way you want to play the game, come over the line, get to the top of the circle or in the middle of the circle and shoot. That's great, but try and have somebody on the other side to pick up that rebound, because if it is a rebound given up, that's where it's going to go.
Yeah, and that's something that we can see if hopefully the Flames can try to do in the third period to get back into this. The good thing is now is as we get down to our last game of the day, is that we kind of have a little bit of light on, or some idea of what's going to go down here in the national semifinals. If Lindenwood should hang on to this one, they would play Minot State likely in the late game tomorrow. I believe it's a 7:30 puck drop. And then U of M Dearborn would play Iowa State likely in the early game. Should we see Liberty make a comeback, they would host Dearborn in likely the late game. And then Minot State would play Iowa State in the early game. So we're starting to see a little clarity of how these Final Four teams and matchups are going to go.
Yeah, this is the last one that has to make it in, and we've actually, I wouldn't call the first one an upset when Robert Morris in overtime beat number 16 Jamestown. That was 16 versus 17. But Ohio and Iowa State 5-4. That's one that's too close to call, and that was a close game, 3-2. And then Adrian Minot, maybe the difference, but Adrian scored 3 goals in 6 periods, and that's not Adrian. I don't know what happened or where they were. They're very, they've got 2 other teams in the tournament, the women's 1 and the women's 2. Want to give a shout out to the ladies that they'll play. And so I'm sure they'll be able to bring something hardware back. But Adrian just last year, we were just amazed by the ability to support the puck and have puck control, and that eluded them in the last 2 games.
Yeah, to your point, I think, we've done a lot of reviewing of last year's tournament too, because so many teams are similar.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure Adrian didn't have a game where they scored less than 4. And then in this tournament, they score 3 in 2 games. It's kind of surprising that boiled down for them the way it did.
Yeah, and again, they're going to be back. I mean, the school population with the number of teams they also have a Division III NCAA team. We've actually speculated who doesn't play hockey or who is not involved in the hockey programs over at Adrian.
The percentage?
It's got to be high. I mean, there's less than 2,000 kids on campus, and you start adding up the number of people that has to support a team, as well as the team and the practice squads and everything else. It's got to be an exciting place to be.
Moral of the story: Lindenwood and Adrian. If you wanna go to school, there's teams at any level for you. Yep. But folks, that's going to do it here for the second intermission update. The Lindenwood Lions are on top of the Liberty Flames, 4-1 in our last game here of day 3 of the tournament. Looking forward to the third period here. Come on back and the guys will break it down for you.
know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
We the people. We are innovators, dreamers, leaders. Yeah, we feel pain. We get tired, but it won't stop us. God's call is our pursuit, and we will champion His name.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Back here at the Comerica Center, a 4-1 lead for the Lindenwood Lions. We do invite you to stay. ACHA tonight's going to be a little late, a little bit later tonight. Executive producer Matt Coma and a guest recapping all of the Division I and Division II action. Of course, part of that, the Division II semifinals, including Northeastern, UMass Amherst, Florida Gulf Coast, and Cincinnati. Those games going to take place here starting at 3:30 tomorrow. But through the first 40 minutes, we've seen Lindenwood play a very suffocating brand of hockey, only allowing the Liberty Flames 11 shots, 4 of which came last period.
Liberty 4 shots last period? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel, right? Is you just kind of like almost zone out with how Liberty played last period, right? Is that they just had no energy, no flow. It almost feels like, you know, Lindenwood is only really playing against themselves right now because it feels like they could turn it on at any point in time. So I don't know what maybe the coaches said in the locker room to wake up the Flames, but they're really going to need it.
Yeah, for Liberty, like you said, Jonesy, they're just going to have to wake up. But if you're Lindenwood, you've got to keep moving the puck. It looks, the game style is almost draining with how well they possess the puck and how they invite the aggression to try to take the energy out early from the Flames.
Now with speed gaining the zone was Pierce. He holds on the break, circles back, and leaves it for the point. And sent in front of the crease. There was no one there. We're going to have a haltage as let's see what's going
Net's
on.
off.
Net's off this morning. That'll cause a stoppage. Also, right now, should this score hold, what we'll have is Lindenwood playing Minot State, and then Iowa playing the number 2 team in Michigan Dearborn. We got to see those games early in. All of those were actually really remarkably close games.
Yeah, today was a very exciting day. Of course, the 1-goal difference between the first 2 games, a 2-goal difference in that second game. But when you see these teams available, that Lindenwood-Minot matchup is very intriguing considering how well Minot did to knock off the defending national champions.
And even Iowa State and Michigan Dearborn, I mean, we saw Michigan Dearborn play a really, really good game, but Davenport held them pound for pound. It was just a slugfest back and forth. Just when you thought Dearborn would go up, Davenport answered. Kind of back and forth all game. And even a late goal by Davenport that Dearborn kind of had them on their heels and sweating for a little bit. So tomorrow should be a really good round of semifinals.
Thompson will enter the zone as CDOT sees it the whole way and puts a squeeze on that. The other D1 team that won was Iowa State. They knocked off number 4 Ohio in a 4-5 matchup. That was a pretty good one in there to kick off the day. Yeah, that Iowa State team is, you know, coming in as that underdog seed. They went down, but they answered. They're a team that's not going to go away no matter what, and I think that they'll really give Dearborn a run for their money if that's how this ends up shaking out. Now Martin with it down in the Flame zone. He was rubbed off the puck as sending this one out is Gammer. Retreating back and then fanning on his pass attempt was Townsend, and up ahead goes Martin, excuse me. Mitchell, his shot was, his stick was lifted as he's trying to get that one off. As Heidsman will leave this one down as the Flames will try to regroup. Lone line forechecker as Lauber mishandled it. Lindenwood with possession now. Into the corner looking for Mitchell, and Mitchell tried to feed this into the slot. It was knifed up in behind the net. Finally out of the zone as the Flames go. Flames with a 2-on-2 with Cox leading the charge. Cox trying to skate around. He gets held up and thrown to the side of the net as CDOT sees it and covers up.
And you know, you were talking about the matchups for tomorrow. Should this result hold, 3 of the 4 teams, if Lindenwood makes it through, are past national champions. You've got Iowa State in 1992, Minot State in 2013, and then with the most, the Lindenwood Lions, if they make it through 2009, 2010, and 2016. Also Lindenwood, the last team to win national titles back-to-back. We won't see that this year with Adrian knocked out.
Of course, the 2 previous champions kind of knocked out in the earlier stages. University of Central Oklahoma yesterday. Of course, Adrian College today. But of course, the only team to was actually Minot State and Iowa State, who are going to have to do the complete trip if they look to win a national championship, basically meaning they're going to have to play on 4 straight days. And we've seen how back-to-backs kind of add up with a couple of hockey teams. A lot of fatigue, a lot of tired legs, especially this late in the season, as the Flames gain the zone. A one-man show, and then just getting demolished was Nelson.
Absolutely huge hit there. That's the price you pay for trying to cut to the middle like that.
Mitchell gets ran into by Cruikshank, and Cruikshank tries to get this out the boards. He was looking for an assist there by Reynolds, and it was knifed off the Reynolds stick as he goes back to play this near side for Thompson up ahead and couldn't corral in it, as the Lions just there taking every opportunity to keep the puck in the Flames zone. Nevertheless, Ryan now with it as he tries to go around a line defender. Thompson tried to dig it out, but unsuccessfully so, as now coming near side is Mitchell. Mitchell takes a hit, but left it there, and a shot that was turned away by the goaltender in Burek, who hasn't let a goal in since he's come in. Hacked at there, CDOT gets ran into, and it's going to be a penalty against Liberty as CDOT having some words with Gammer. Now gaining the zone, putting on the brakes is Lozano. As Lozano pulls up, he will come in offside, but Gammer's going to go away for interference.
Yeah, and Cole Gammer just trying to drive hard to the net, showing some effort, trying to get Liberty back in this game. That's the second time today we've seen a goalie interference on a similar style play. Gianni Evangelisti in the first game of Iowa State and Ohio had a similar penalty, but Lindenwood back to the power play and a chance to put a little more cushion on this lead.
And back to play us behind his own net was Bergen, and the Flames will send this the full way down. Back to play this is Nermanen. Townsend. Should play as Bergen would have had the puck right out on stick if he was looking for it. And just wrapping this all the way around is Heinzman. As the Flames will send this up and over. And right now it just looks like the Lions just content to burn off as much time as it can to let this clock just keep ticking.
Yeah, and that's not surprising considering you want everybody healthy. You definitely don't want anybody suspended, so, you know, you can't really get any hot-headedness in here. And tic-tac-toe to Finnegan didn't work out. But, yeah, I think it's definitely a matter of staying out there so that way you can just go into that game tomorrow just feeling refreshed. And it's almost as if this game right now feels kind of like a warm-up practice or scrimmage almost. You know, no, it's not, but it has that feeling almost.
Yeah, and when you look at it, Jonesy, like you said, this is a big game tomorrow. No matter who Lindenwood faces, they would face Minot State if it stays this way. And Minot State's a team that's very physical and will wear you down and with their physicality and also their speed. So just keep everybody healthy. Try to burn this clock. Maybe take a couple chances, but nothing too out of the realm. Keep it simple at this rate.
And like we said, you know, with all of the scheduling changes and late games and stuff like that, it's 11:01. Typically, this game would be over by now if it had started right on time.
Now running in, it was Klimovsky as he was rubbed off there. And well past midnight for some of these Eastern Seaboard teams as Cox will backhand this one in. Lauber's there. He's rubbed off. And now to grab the puck there is Murphy. Wood now with the puck. And just knifes off as very calmly the Lions try to break this out of the zone. They finally do, and trying to skate through was Green. Punch there, and we're going to have a penalty, and it looks like it may be against Brendan Murphy.
Yeah, that's who they're going to get. See what they end up deciding to call here, whether it's going to be a board or an interference, but it was definitely a little bit behind the play there. And they're going to have a discussion.
Yeah, and Liberty's banged up again as Blomberg's slow to go back to the bench. Jacob Fricks has been standing on the Liberty bench but hasn't returned to action since he was hit hard into the boards. And they already lost Josh Fricks, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, in that first game. So Liberty's starting to lose bodies as this game progresses.
Yeah, and that's a tough play by Murphy just because it seems really unnecessary. It looked like there was really not a hockey play to be made. So to kind of go screaming into the boards like that and put yourself in the box, never good. I know that we've been, you know, almost counting Liberty out at this point because of the lack of energy that we see, but how quickly can that all change with a quick goal off the power play right here? You know, there still is 14 minutes left in the game, and 2-goal lead is never, you know, the best thing in hockey.
Yeah, and for Liberty, if they can get one here with plenty of time, like you were saying, they have a chance to try to turn this game around with the time they have remaining. And they've got some great shooters on this line. Again, Cole Gammer, Quinn Ryan, and Brock Thompson, three of the top players for this team in scoring. A guy in Ryan Cox who doesn't have as many goals, but he's pretty pesky out in front of the net. And Garrett Nelson, a solid defenseman for this team.
Well, they still haven't put the penalty time on the board, but they are going.
They're going to escort him out.
So looks like we're going to have a 5-minute major that's going to result in Murphy also heading in the dressing room.
You know what? I think that is the right call. Like I said, I don't think that there was really a hockey play to be made. It's dangerous, and in a game that is 4-1, you've already had one Liberty player that went off on a bad hit that's not coming back in the game. I think that's the right call.
You talk about opportunities to get back in this game. If Liberty can mount a handful of goals here, they'll be right there with Lindenwood and right back into this game with 14:05 left in the final frame.
And you got to start with one, and they just got to try to set up this power play. Again, you talk about Lindenwood, they have the best penalty kill, one of the best penalty kills in the nation at 91%. They've just got to really, coming into this tournament for Liberty, they've just got to try to get shots on net traffic in front of CDOT.
And we'll start here as Cox does win the face-off, back to Ryan. And this one is Townsend will corral out at the far side safe face-off circle. Up and out of the zone, the length of the ice. Burak will play it behind his own net, and it's killing around. Then reversing his track is Ryan, as there are two Lindenwood players on the forecheck. Up ahead goes Gammer. Gammer walks up, fires, and was also taken out as the shot was turned away by CDOT. Nelson, one of the Flames that is there, as well with a pair of Lindenwood Lions. Joining the support there, Brock Thompson. Thompson has it back out to the point as there are 4 Flames in that scrum to try to dig that puck out. Up Thompson into the corner. Back to the point. Shot fired. CDOT makes a glove save to keep this a 3-goal deficit for the Flames.
Going back to that Brendan Murphy penalty, it's not only a 5-minute checking from behind, but it's a game misconduct. So not only, I believe it, correct me if I'm wrong, he's done for tomorrow too. So that's a loss for Lindenwood. And we were talking about it, Jonesy, they can't have players suspended for their matchup against Minot State.
And I guess one of the things too, as CDOT makes a save, we'll get to that, but Rick Zombo requires and demands a lot of discipline out of his hockey teams.
Yeah, that's just a mental lapse in judgment. In a game like this, you know, I get it that it's hard to be focused at all times. But if that does turn out, which I believe you are correct, Sam, he will miss tomorrow. That could be a huge blow. And once again, if they're facing that Minot team, that is, you know, you're going to want everybody 100% and everybody 100% in your lineup.
Now, this one knifed up, and Lindenwood going to try to get this in. It was one line there guarded by 3 Flames, and now circling back around is Ursulak. He's watched by 3 Flames as Pierce digs this one out. And Cruikshank walks out behind his own red line. There with 4 other Flames, and he lost the handle on it, and Lindenwood will just send this back down with 3:25 left, and that results in major. Throwing this up was Burak up to the point. Out, but not very far, as Lombardi was there. Now Clark with it. It's just off of his blade. And finally back the other way goes Klimovsky. Klimovsky at the top of the circle. Bad angle shot that was saved by Burak with 3:03.
Yeah, Burak not looking really confident on that one. Thought he had it in the glove. Pushed right down next to the pad. Able to just grab it real quickly, but a little bit shaky there from an odd angle shot.
So far, Liberty able to mount 5 shots in the first 7 minutes and 52 seconds. You're going to round up to 8. Feeling fair right now. On the own net. And circling back around is Nelson. Nelson still circling around as he's being harassed by Lombardi. Finally now near side for Thompson. As Thompson gains the blue line. And will rattle this around Looking for a teammate there, but getting to the puck first was the Lindenwood player. Into the corner, Cox. Couldn't get to it. Gammer into the corner, possesses it, back to the point for Nelson. Now for Gammer, who walks it. Gammer circles back around, and just a suffocating kill as Lombardi was up at the top. A shot, and it was turned away by CDOT as he took away a wide open net coming across from that far post.
And that's an impressive save from CDOT on that one-timer from Cole Gammer. When you give him space, usually it's tough to stop that, and a great effort from CDOT, and yet again cleared down the ice by Lindenwood.
It looked like there was so much empty net there, and then just like a blur, CDOT moving from post to post, gets the shoulder on it. I thought that was a for sure goal. That was an incredible save.
Iced all the way down, and the Flames have iced the puck with 10:52 left in the last period. Shots in favor of the Lindenwood Lions, 24-17. Still about 1:47 left on the 5-minute major to Brendan Murphy from Lindenwood. Now Cruikshank behind his own net as the Flames will look to just generate something in the Lindenwood zone. Nelson back, and now crawling the puck is Pierce. Saved by CDOT. Will go back out in front and knifing this one up and into the netting. And the faceoff will stay in the Lindenwood zone, but just looking forward. Semifinals is always fun. And it should be an exciting day tomorrow for whoever makes it. Faceoff for the first game scheduled for 4 o'clock. Glad you can join us on the ACHA network. Cox going to take the draw. Opposite of him is Klomovsky. Just to the right of CDOT. And Townsend. Now for Klomovsky as he sends this at least out of the zone. It was gloved down there by Nelson. Flames finally do come in on side. And over by the ACHA logo as Klomovsky just ladles this one up, and Nelson retreats back with under 60 seconds on the power play. 10 minutes left in the third period. A very quiet Comerica Center is now gaining zone, walking in, and trying to feed it in the slot was Gammer. Gammer still skating hard, however. And all the way down as Townsend had the puck hop over a stick. Thompson was in the area. Backhand attempt, trickled in front, and it's in!
There's the one. That's the one that you wanted. Just with just a little bit over 4.5 minutes, or I should say under 4.5 minutes. A little bit of life into Liberty now as the chink in the armor of Lindenwood with this goal. Watch this replay right here.
Yeah, and it's Matt Cruikshank, the defenseman, all the way down in the offensive zone, who sprawls out to get that over the pad of CDOT. And that's a great effort, great play from Thompson to backhand it out in front. There it is, just a little life with a little less than half of the period remaining.
Yeah, great effort there to put that one home. As now Liberty, everybody's standing up and can feel a little bit more energy back into this team.
Now Cruikshank will take it, his own zone, not completely out of the woods are the Liberty Flames. They still have their work cut out for them. Still up to the task though, as now gaining speed through the zone is Pierce. We're still looking for the slot now for up ahead, and there it is! Pierce, the goal scorer. It's a 1-goal game.
Holy Devin Pierce, second game in a row with a goal, and this game just got interesting again, folks.
Oh my goodness, I feel like I just slammed a 5-hour energy into my veins with this. This is amazing. A shot gets redirected around.
And nothing that Seagot can do. Blomberg just out in front of the net. And if you're Rick Zombo, do you possibly use a timeout here after this momentum shift?
Right now, it might be a good. I might be a good time for it. Liberty right now trying to sort out who's supposed to be on the ice. But all of a sudden, it's a one-goal game with 9:15 left in period number 3. Lawbird now takes it. And if you're Liberty, you got a lot of momentum in your bench right now as the penalty expires. You go back to 5-on-5 hockey. Barrows, who was serving the major, comes out of the bench. He dumps this one in. And now down low, crawling the puck is Barrows. Met by Lauber as he gets to it, finally up but not out, as Townsend will go D to D as the Lions will regroup. Townsend now with it and got it up ahead. It was knifed down and getting momentarily tripped up. It was probably tangled with a Liberty player. Was Ursulak, and we're going to have a stoppage. It looked like it might have deflected. But we'll take a break with 8:31, and all of a sudden, the Flames are right back in it.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Budget Car Rental, the preferred rental agency of the ACHA. Hogan Transportation, official tournament partners of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. Edge Protect, protecting goalie skate blades since 2004 and official sponsor of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
The Comerica Center, and Liberty heating up right now as the Flames find themselves down by 1, and the Big Mo in their bench after the media timeout. And if you're Rick Zombo, what was the message to the team, to your Lindenwood team, who for the most part dominated most of this game, as CDOT had to make a glove save after that shot was fired in from the far side circle?
Yeah, I think we were saying, does Lindenwood take a timeout, and it's probably Rick Zombo with a little bit more clock awareness than us, but taking that media timeout, I'm sure he just says, hey guys, just play our game. We've dominated so far. We're the best team in the country for a reason, but you guys need to wake up and realize that you're not until tomorrow until that clock strikes triple zeros.
Yeah, and you look at this, it's just changed all of a sudden after almost not scoring for 4.5 minutes of the power play. Within the last couple seconds, they get 2 on the board. And just like that, the Flames cut it to 1, and they have a lot more life on that bench.
One back, Cruikshank, and he fanned on his shot, but there to corral it was Thompson. He sent it off a Lindenwood shin, and now it's up for Finnegan. A 3-on-2 ensuing, far side pass there. And it looked like that was a form of Heinzman who tried to get it, and Heinzman goes in awkwardly, that's Klimovsky who went awkwardly in the board, and he's in a lot of discomfort right now. And I know he initially went after his knee. We're not going to speculate what it is, but as of right now, a timeout as he's holding that right leg, just laying up against those end boards. But right now, if you're Liberty, I mean, you've been on benches before where you start battling back, Jonesy, and you end up with 7-8 minutes left with a 1-goal deficit.
Yeah, you don't come this far into a season and, with as good as Liberty's played throughout the entire time, make it to the national tournament in ACHA Division I hockey without belief in the brothers that are beside you. You guys put in the work, on your off days, in practice, in games. These guys are really confident. Shame on us for thinking that this one was going to be over. We were definitely thinking that Lindenwood had complete control of this game. And just like that, a 5-minute major, even though it came late, it did come on that 5-minute major. Both of those goals in that last minute, and this game is completely different.
So the injured player in Jordan Klimovsky is up, and he's skating off under his own power. One of the things, the big Mo is in Liberty's bench right now, and you feel that, the fans feel that. I'm sure people at home are feeling that as well. And of course, should be of note that Burak did come in almost halfway into the game after a goalie replacement. The starting goaltender in Halpenny was pulled about 7 minutes into the second period, and he hasn't let up a goal since.
Yeah, and when you look at Burak, and you talked about it, Jonesy, a little early on, could that be a momentum shift putting Burak in the net? And so far, Liberty's done a good job, and so has Cole Burak.
On a heavy collision in there, as taking the worst end of that was Heinzman. Now Blomberg, near side hash mark, trying to get this up ahead, was Pierce, who scored a goal. Pierce tried to walk through, and he takes a couple of shoves for his efforts. And Pierce still with it down below, but it was stolen off of his blade up by Townsend, who misconnected with a teammate, sent down to C-Dot, who's already given a goal from about 190 feet out. Finnegan, although that goal from 190 feet out, not really his fault, as the puck rolled off a couple of sticks. Now Lindenwood kind of having trouble after the last two goals that were scored by Liberty. Far side corner, to play that was Barrows. And now up ahead for Crago. Crago gains his own onside, and he tried to chip it up ahead, but it was denied there by a Flame player in the form of Lauber. Shot that Burak saves, and now stepping in are a host of Flames. It's not quite a skirmish, but maybe a couple of words. I'm sure Liberty's saying, hey, we haven't gone away yet.
Well, I think that's the best thing, though, is why create a skirmish when you're still down one? You cannot afford to take a penalty against this Lindenwood Lion power play, right? So that's the smartest thing to do. Just grab a guy, calmly move him away from your goalie. You don't have to face wash and shove and cross-check all the time. Often that escalates the situation. That could even put your goalie in more danger sometimes.
And one of the things you look at, too, look at the shots on goal, guys. It was a little bit lopsided. Now Liberty's pulled within 3.
Do you think maybe Lindenwood getting a little lackadaisical in that third period?
100%. I think they let their guard down. They're looking forward to, to tomorrow, and they have to finish the game. I mean, they've recuperated quite a bit, but the favor is all Liberty. Look at the speed coming from Liberty now.
Broken stick there. That was Cruikshank who broke his stick as he tried to battle. I guess he just lost his stick as it was caught up in the end boards over there. Okay, the ever adventurous end boards on the left side of the rink. And now Mitchell up ahead, and this one knifed off by Reynolds. Reynolds gains his own with speed at the far side hash. Turns around, sends us in front, saved by C-Dot as he covers up. And halts play with 5:43 left. And now we're almost even, to your point, Sam, on the shot total.
Yeah.
Liberty sneaking up on everyone, huh?
Sneaking up on all of us. We had about written them off, and then one goal from Matt Cruikshank down low, and then followed up by Devin Pierce's second goal of the tournament. And Liberty's come back to life here late in this game, and they're still driving hard. It looks like Lindenwood has just kind of lost all the momentum, and they've also started making some mistakes here in this game.
Now battling there is Bochinski. Bochinski, name we haven't called in a while, now off of the skate of Lindenwood and trying to gain the zone. Now Finnegan does. Goes cross ice as Townsend has it. Townsend gets stood up at the hash mark, says Klomovsky's there for the line. Finnegan down low, this one up, and going to grab this puck is Blomberg. Blomberg took his time getting this out of the zone, but Lauber has it, and he'll dump this in as the rest of the Flames get a change. Still 5 minutes left here in the period, and potentially, if Liberty does get another goal, we could see extra frames, but we'll get to that should that moment arrive, and what the potential consequences would be should Liberty win this game. Now Finnegan gains his own. He puts on the brakes and was checked momentarily, lost possession of the puck. Still in the face-off circle, finally out. Now bring this out as Gammer. Gammer gonna dump this, and C-Dot puts a glove on it. And right now, I'm sure the Flames, after knowing what they pulled on C-Dot at the beginning of the game, just gonna send this to him to see if he can keep making those types of grabs.
Yeah, you never know when you get that lucky bounce, but once again, just getting it on goal instead of getting it into the corners where you're wasting valuable time. Now you get that offensive zone face-off. We saw it in a couple of games where you get a quick shot off the face-off, maybe C-Dot doesn't see it, and we get a full brand new game.
Cruikshank sent this on frame and turned away by CDOT, but did give up the rebound and allowed the Flames to momentarily gain possession as Pierce. And
you
we're gonna
hate
have a
to see
penalty
it.
here. And it looks like it's a board. Cruikshank not happy with himself as he's going to head. And no, it looks like he knows he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and that's just a look of frustration from Cruikshank. I mean, that's the thing Jonesy was talking about. You can't take a penalty right now with 4:20 to go here in the third period. That's a tough place to be in as Liberty now has to face one of the top power play units in the ACHA. Some of their best shooters are out on the ice right now.
Well, if you're Liberty, a shorthanded goal would do wonders for you. But of course, the main task at hand is to kill this penalty as Finnegan misplayed this. And the Lions will have to go all 200 feet as that was it? Herman went back, but nevertheless Finnegan now with it. He stepped in too as his dumping attempt was rejected by Liberty.
Yeah, Cruikshank hanging his head right now. I know that he feels bad, but I do believe Liberty can kill this off. And if there's 2:30 left on the clock when he gets out of the box, I would expect to see the Liberty tender head straight for the bench for the 6-man.
Good stick check there by Pierce. As Nermanen, that was not a great backhand pass, but now gaining zone of 2-on-1 and putting on the brakes and then fanning on the shot, which is interesting because at the beginning of the game, we probably would have seen that pass and a shot on goal. Right now, it just seems that Lindenwood's just become stagnant. Now, Townsend will go point to point. This one still on the blue line is Heisman now with it, walks up to the ACHA logo. Walks across it, and he'll go all the way around the boards, and waiting for it here near side is Finnegan. Finnegan tried to send it up, and not sure what he's doing there. He didn't have a player there. Finnegan now walks it in. That's Heisman. And now Wilk. Wilk had this one being watched there by Nelson. Now sent down low. Heisman was there. Finally up, but not out as Wilk is there to keep this in the zone. Now Finnegan. They're trying to, Lindenwood finding their legs on this. A shot turned away by Burak.
Nice save by Burak, staying strong with a good angle.
Wilk as he evades a defender there. Puck high up in the zone, still now in the feet of Cox, and this one sent down with 9 seconds left on the penalty to Cruikshank, and he's going to come out of the box. This one sent down all the way. Icing waved off it as it deflected. Probably wouldn't have counted either way as it was sent down during the penalty. This one lofted up high. Now getting, or trying to get to it was Bergen. Bergen doing battle. He finally does have his stick back. This is lifted momentarily. Gammer at the far side, hash mark. Up and over as trying to win this race is Thompson. He might be able to, and does. His icing is waved off, but he's tied up there Runyon in the last 2 minutes.
And a big kill from Liberty, and that seems to give him even more energy. Keep our eyes on Burak. He's slowly starting to creep out of the goal crease.
Now Gammer fired in. CDOT makes a save, turns into the corner. Into the top corner, Thompson goes. He's watched by a pair of Lions. This one angled up, finally not out of the zone, but walking this one out was Kalow. Kalow takes a heavy collision. Now Gammer as we enter the last 90 seconds. Creeping out Burak and evading a check there was Cruikshank. Cruikshank circles in front of Burak as he's looking for an open man, but decides to go D to D. Up ahead here. And
there goes Burak.
Near side boards as noticing that it's 6-on-5 right now. Glove down by Cruikshank. Finally up ahead. And a couple of Flames defenders there. No penalty as they are all healthy hits. Nothing illegal about it. Into the corner we go as the last minute play we enter. Still in there and trying to dig this one out. The Flames were as they've been having trouble doing that all game. Lindenwood content just burning time off. And as the Flames go out, losing his edge there. Right now, possible 2-on-1. Pierce, stick handles, the front. The neck was knocked off and play is halted as CDOT gives a forearm shiver and maybe a face wash to Cox as he was in front. Still no penalties out in hand with 41 seconds left.
Oh my goodness, did that rush not feel like it was gonna be the one where the magic happens? A nice toe drag, a centering pass, a lot of bodies heading towards the front of the net, just could not find the back of it.
And we're gonna have a timeout here for Liberty. So, hey, didn't this get exciting there, Sam?
Oh man, well,
good, awesome.
I didn't know.
Josie, what's going on the bench right now?
I've got to look at this. It's incredible to see how Liberty's fought back. Like, it was unexpected, and that's my reaction to that. You thought Lindenwood had this game signed, sealed, and delivered into the chip tomorrow, but boys, it's back to within a goal. 41 seconds left, and if they get their top shooters out there, this is a chance for Liberty to take advantage.
Of course, I'm sure you're working on a set piece, but then also part of the discussion if you do lose the face-off. We'll take another look at what happened, at least on the other end, the save by Burak.
Yeah, Burak in great position there. Good rebound control, making sure it goes to the other side. And then here's the huge hit right there by Reynolds. Reynolds was a little bit shaken up, but an absolute highlight reel. Open ice, clean hit there by Reynolds. And then you had the breakout there. Right now, I think your biggest thing is, first off, what are we going to do when we win the faceoff? Are we going back to our defense? Are we going to try to, first off, if we lose, if we do win that, are we going back to our defense and we're sending probably 1-2 guys to the front of the net? If we lose, we need that winger sprinting towards the boards to make sure that if a ring shot comes out the other way, that we have bodies in front to keep it in that zone. And then after that, you got to get pucks on net, bodies to the net, and just create overall chaos. And they win the face-off.
Back to Gammer, a shot that hit a Lindenwood player in front. It didn't reach C-Dot. Now Gammer, he walks up to the slot. Shot still didn't get it. There's a down player in Pierce. He's slow to get up. In the last 30 we go. Nelson will go to the far side. A player couldn't handle that. Ryan, now Nelson will get to it. He fans on that. This might head for the net. Grego there, he's just going to decide to tie this up to the last 20 as Liberty's going to try to dig this one out. They finally do. Up and in this one out. Pierce going to try to skate away. He was shaken up earlier, about 20 seconds ago. Fired in, it didn't reach the net. Still up, broken stick, broken bodies there. Now down to the last two. This one just chipped up ahead, and Lindenwood will go to the semifinals after evading a very perilous scare from Lindenwood from Liberty after Liberty was down 4-1.
Wow.
After you, Sam.
Say it in sync with me, Jonesy. I mean, that was perfect timing to end it, but what a game in the end after it looked to be a lopsided affair between with Lindenwood dominating. Liberty comes back getting 2 on that 5-minute power play very late, and what a fight from the Flames to try to defeat Lindenwood. But again, the Lions advance on in pursuit of that 4th national championship to a semifinal date with Minot State tomorrow.
Yeah, and you thought Lady Luck was going to be on Liberty's side tonight. Even in that last little bit there, they had a couple of good rushes, a couple of good chances, and just unfortunately time runs out. And the issue is you can't allow for just to be down to a team like that for that long. But we will send it over to Matt Coma.
No, so yeah.
Sorry.
No, right now number one, this is an exceptional hockey game. Right now we're gonna try to get you what the schedule is for tomorrow. Hopefully we can do that. But right now we do know what the final 4 teams in the ACHA are. Right now you're looking at one of them in the Lindenwood Lions. The second one is going to be the Minot State Beavers. That's the first matchup. Iowa State, and then also, I'm trying to remember the fourth one off the top of my head. Michigan Dearborn, the number 2 team in the country, will be the second matchup. We're trying to get the times for that right now before we send you off, but what an incredible matchup. I mean, I think everyone here, including the fans here at Comerica Center, kind of wrote off Liberty. It really felt like the air was just completely taken out of this arena.
It felt like heading into that third period, it was playing in front of tumbleweeds, to say the least. And then all of a sudden, one goal from Matt Crookshank changes it, and the fans get back into it, both teams into it, and the Lions advance on. This is going to be a huge test for them tomorrow.
Well, so do you guys really want to know when the times are?
I would certainly like to.
I would too.
Well, you guys are going to have to watch ACHA tonight with Matt Coma, and he's going to give you the times on those games for tomorrow. For everyone here at the ACHA, Ryan Jones, Samuel C. Fleming, Boz Echevarri, wishing everyone to have a good night.